Hello everyone, I'm Captain Logan. Welcome back to the bunker. Today I want to do an update video and chat with you a little bit about a message that I posted yesterday on social media and elaborate a little bit on that. So if you missed the message about the streamlining and the new schedule on the channel, I will tell you about that, but also if you did see that, I'm going to give you some details about that and talk about why I'm doing that. So let me take you back to last year. I took a lengthy hiatus, and when I came back, I decided to try to not oversaturate the channel so much and flood people's inboxes with a video almost every single day. It was haphazard, it was random, it was everything under the sun, and Geekvolution has always been a mixture of several different kinds of things. And I think the majority of our community would like it to kind of stay that way, but I thought it was important to start streamlining a little bit and to focus really hard on more like 3 or 4 kinds of things as opposed to 19, and try to do the 3 or 4 things that we're doing really well. And so I wanted to focus on Superhero Rewind. I wanted to continue doing the Captain Logan show because that has been going really well. People seem to enjoy that, and I have a blast talking to you guys live. I love doing the live streams, so I wanted to make sure that we were still doing that. And there was a lot of enthusiasm for requests, and I have discovered so many new movies and TV shows and things that I probably would have never watched, and really kind of broadened my horizons because of those requests. So I wanted to make sure that I was doing that kind of thing too, and I can't stop reviewing new movies entirely, and so how we felt about's got to stick around too. So those were the big things that I wanted to make sure that we were still doing, and then occasionally commentaries and other things whenever we have a chance to sneak some of that stuff in. And the streamlining seemed to be helping a lot. And so I'm going to be like completely transparent in this video, and I talked about this last year too when I decided to do that. I think I talked about this on the Captain Logan show, but I wanted to kind of challenge myself and see just how much we could grow the channel, how much larger of a community we could build here. And that's not me saying that I want to be like this massive, mega huge YouTube channel, that's more important than putting out good work, than the critical analysis. I don't want to change what I am, and I don't want to change what the channel is about, but just, I've been at this for 10 years, and we have always had like slow but steady growth. We've never stagnated, even to this day, and we always gain somewhere between 100, 200 subscribers a month, and that's not a big number, but we've been at this for so long, I might have thought that at this point we would just have the base we have, and it would just kind of stop there. And it's difficult not to kind of want to see just how far we can take it when I'm seeing at least that consistent incremental growth. And streamlining seemed to be helping a lot, and so I want to find that balance. I want to figure out how to not change the spirit of what we are and lose the integrity of that. I don't want to do gimmicky stuff. I don't want to go to only making 10-minute videos. And no disrespect to channels that do that. That's for some people, that's the way to go with their personality, with the kinds of things that they're talking about. I totally get that strategy. And were I to start a new channel, I might start with shorter videos depending on the kind of thing that I'm making. But the problem is, the community that is here generally tends to care for more long-form videos, more in-depth stuff, in-depth analysis, and that's kind of what I do for the most part. And so, again, I don't want to stop doing that. I don't want to force Superhero Rewind down to 10 or 15 minutes. I think I'm sometimes too long-winded and wordy on that show. I think some of the hour-long videos are warranted. I think others, like the Wolverine, could have been 10, 15, 20 minutes shorter. That's a 50-minute video. I don't think it necessarily needed to be that long. Sometimes I kind of get, I'm being self-critical now, but sometimes I get kind of carried away with myself, and I get stuck on one tangent, and I don't go back in and do enough revision. And so I think sometimes if you start seeing shorter rewinds, I don't want folks to come back and be like, well, Cap, you said that you wouldn't compromise. I'm not saying that longer is always better. I'm saying that I don't want to force the videos to be a whole lot shorter and I don't want to force anything just in order to try to build a bigger fan base. That's not what this is about, but I do want to challenge myself and see if it's possible to maximize the potential of the channel. This is a thing that I am continuing to try to make my full-time job, and I have been marginally successful at that for the last several years, but like ad revenue is not what it used to be, and the channel is mostly supported now by the viewers, and I'm super grateful to any of you guys that have ever helped us out with the channel in that way, but man, I would love to not have to rely on that. I worry a lot about looking like I'm begging for money, and that's why I'm constantly trying to provide as much cool stuff as possible on Patreon to create incentives. So I mean, if you guys are gonna donate any at all of your hard-earned cash to me to make it possible for me to make this a job, I want to earn it. I want to feel like I have earned it. So I should. So I'm gonna talk about changes to the channel and stuff here in a minute. But now that I've brought that up, let me mention that one thing I did today is I shut down temporarily the $40 rewind request here because I have a big giant backlog of those that I've not gotten to. Several of those are well over a year old now, and I need to get to that, and it is not fair for me to continue to take paid requests when I have this big long list of requests I've not gotten to yet. So I'm going to start working my way through those. I'm going to get a lot more caught up on that before I start accepting new requests. So if there is a rewind request you want to do, just hang on to it, and I will hopefully get back to those not too long from now. But until I have knocked out a good number of that list, I don't want to bring that back. I don't think that's right. I don't think that's fair, and I want to make sure that I'm focusing on getting those requests done. So I wanted to mention that. So anyway, in the spirit of not oversaturating the channel, not going insane myself, and making the work as good as I possibly can, I am, unfortunately, and I hate this, permanently stopping the Count and Crypt the Freaks commentaries. And I hate doing that. I love making those. I was going to make that a massive priority this year. I wanted to finish that series by the anniversary. Next year is the 20th anniversary of Smallville, which it's crazy that is now 2 decades old. But I was not able to focus on Rewind and also try to do that. I realize they're just off-the-cuff commentaries, but I have to watch the episode and take notes. It takes at least 3 hours all told to do one of them. I was trying to do 2 a week, and I've got a lot of family obligations. I'm trying to run live streams. I'm trying to write rewinds. I'm trying to do these requests. So, I mean, I'm not making daily content anymore, so I'm more streamlined than I used to be, but it is still too much to prioritize Crypt the Freaks. And the second thing is the views just weren't there. There's not enough interest in that over other shows like Rewind in order to make it worth my while and everybody else's while to prioritize it. I think that's not fair to the rest of the audience, and I'm not happy with it. C, I enjoyed doing those commentaries, but it was never exactly what I wanted to do with that show, and I was kind of forced to go off the cuff because I wasn't able to use stills on that show anymore. Now, with the new Rewind format, where I'm doing kind of Ken Burns effects and stuff, maybe the bots wouldn't flag it, and I would be able to get away with it. I don't know, but I had already done commentaries for a while, so I didn't want to go back to that. So anyway, I am going to finish that show as season overviews, which I wanted to do anyway. I wanted to do both. I mean, I really want to have my cake and eat it too on this, and I just can't. In a perfect world, if I had like 72 hours in my week, what I would, or excuse me, if I had 72 hours in my day, if I had a lot more time, what I would probably do is do what we're doing with Morphin Mania, which is make it its own channel and port everything over there, and then continue that show for the people that like it. Because the other big concern was oversaturating. Now I'm back to 5 or 6 videos a week, when 3 or 4 was helping to not oversaturate, and fewer new subscribers were leaving after their boxes were getting flooded, and I just don't want to scare anybody off. Again, let me reiterate, this is not about the numbers more than it's about the quality of the products, but at the same time, I don't want to run people off if folks come in and they seem to like what we're doing, or they like one aspect of what we're doing, but I'm throwing a bunch of stuff at them that they don't care about. Then they might leave and they might miss the stuff that they might like. So you see how this is kind of a balancing act. So anyway, I am gonna do Counting Group of the Freaks now as season overviews, and like I said, that's what the majority of people wanted anyway. I did a poll last year, and I can't remember how many people took the poll. It was at least a couple hundred, and 70% said just do season overviews, and 30% said they wanted to see the commentaries continue. And you might think it's odd that I came back with the commentaries after those numbers, but I just really wanted to do them. I was enjoying it, and again, balancing act. I want to do what I'm enjoying, but I also have to keep the audience, I have to consider the audience to some degree, and I also don't want to do that at the expense of other things I really want to do. And certainly I want to make Rewind the main flagship show of the channel again. And again, I was on my way on that last year. But I got I got sick. I got the kidney stone. It took forever to take care of that. There were a couple whole weeks I couldn't do hardly anything. Then the move happened, and so it was just months before I was able to, for various reasons, to get back to working on Rewind again at all, which I hated, because I was well on my way to making that regular again and making it weekly. So anyway, so I'm going to do Crypto Freaks. I'm going to do the season overviews in the place of rewinds when I do them. I mean, I loved making that first one all those years ago. Part of the reason, again, that I went back to the commentaries was because I was afraid that I just had too much to say about that show. And so I imagine not doing the single episodes, that each of those overviews is going to be at least 45 minutes, if not an hour. But anyway, so that is unfortunate, but I think it's for the best in the long run with everything else going on. Again, I was having to concentrate on that, and I wasn't working on the rewind requests, and that's just not fair to everybody that requested them. There are some cool movies on that list. There's a little bit of obscure stuff, but a ton of things that I know a lot of people want to see, both in the superhero department and in the sci-fi department. There are some comics on that list for superhero rewind and panels. I have some plans for a series of rewinds and rewind and panels a little bit later in the year, if I can get to it, that I don't want to announce yet, but that I think a lot of you guys are really going to enjoy. And anyway, a lot of really cool plans on the horizon. It's just a bunch of stuff. As always, I'm too ambitious. I was going to be stretching myself impossibly thin, and I was going to be attempting like 3 years worth of work in 1 year, and it just wasn't going to work out. And so I'm trying to be smart and streamline things like I was doing initially. January was an experiment month. That was the plan. I knew it might not pan out. I made a crazy schedule. I wanted to see if I could follow it. I could not get it all done. And it was too much like I thought it might be, and so I've got to back off. So that's what I'm doing. So we are going to go back to a weekly schedule again, and a lot of people, I've already heard from a lot of people that have said that they like the schedule a lot, and I think it's going to work out really well if I can stick to it. So Tuesdays, superhero rewind or another scripted analysis kind of video, or like video essay. Usually a rewind, be it superhero or science fiction or rewind in panels or something like that. There were a couple movies on the request list that don't fall in any of those categories, so it will be something like an old Rewind United. I don't know if I'll bring that title back. I probably will. It could be something else if something brilliant comes to me. And then Thursday is the Captain Logan show, and then every other Thursday also Captain Logan After Dark for the patrons. Want to mention, in case you're not aware of this show, because I don't talk about it everywhere all the time, or if you have been considering it, or considering jumping in and taking a look at it, Captain Logan After Dark is a live show. You can watch it if you're on Patreon while I'm shooting it, but you can also watch it after the fact. We get more views on that show than we have patrons, so people seem to be going back and looking at it sometimes a couple of times, and it's really cool that people are enjoying that. As much as they are, I'm glad that's going so well. It is a goofy variety show with a lot of interesting discussion as well about all kinds of things that we wouldn't usually talk about on the channel. Eric and I used to do Geekvolution After Dark, which was just a discussion show. This has trivia, I do karaoke, there's often, sometimes I talk about weird news. There's all kinds of different segments that happen in that show. Brandon is my regular co-host on that show, and DJ comes in from time to time and helps us out with it as well. So anyway, that is twice a month, so every other Thursday immediately after the Captain Logan show. And then on Saturdays, I'm going to be posting requested off-the-cuff reviews. So sometimes that'll be a You Made Me Watch, sometimes it'll be a Comic Vault. And then on Mondays, sometimes there'll be a video on a Monday and sometimes there won't. That will be the one kind of wild card day. And sometimes that will be a How We Felt About if I saw a movie. I am kicking around doing those more often, trying to get to the movie theater more, but I just don't know if I can work it in. So that will be the day for, the big movies that I really want to make sure I review, superhero stuff, big sci-fi stuff, whatever it is. Monday, if there's not a How We Felt About, will sometimes be a commentary, will sometimes be a Comic Vault. And there may be even some weeks where we just don't post on a Monday. So it'll be 3 to 4 times a week, but always Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and then sometimes on a Monday. That is the plan right now. So anyway, I just wanted to explain why the regular episode-to-episode Crypto Freaks is going away now. I may, if there's enough interest, occasionally do a marathon of Smallville episodes and do commentaries on them, so that I can still chat about those shows with people that love Smallville and care to hear me talk about that. And that might be a fun thing to do live. I've never talked directly with the Crypto Freaks audience like that, and that could be a fun thing to do. So I don't want to promise that, but the marathons, when we've done them, have gone really well. I just did a 24-hour marathon on Superhero TV last weekend that was just wonderful. It was one of my favorite things we've ever done. It was so much fun. I had 11 or 12 co-hosts that came in and out and helped me talk about shows. I had a co-host from different guys from 10 a.m. all the way until 3:30 or 4 a.m. the next day. I was only by myself for a few hours, and it was so much fun. You guys recommended a bunch of really cool shows, a bunch of stuff that I'd never seen before, made me want to go through some stuff that I've only watched a few episodes of or that I've never looked at. I learned a lot. I was reminded of a lot of things that I hadn't thought about in a long time, and it was just really fun kind of stamina, kind of endurance thing, and was not sure how well I would get through that, and it was talking the whole time with a lot of you guys in the comments helped it go so very fast. I couldn't believe that it went by the way it did, and it was not as hard as I thought it would be, and I would totally do that again at some point. Not tomorrow, but eventually, sometime, I would like to do a thing like that again. So more marathons could happen in the future. I'm loving live streaming. That has been going really, really well. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of open up to you guys a little bit and tell you what my strategy is and what my thoughts are about how stuff is going on the channel and what my goals are. I really would, and I said this last year, I don't know if this is possible, I don't know if this is a pipe dream. It's not the most important thing. I'm not going to quit because, we don't have enough people looking at us. I'm just this lowly, tiny 30,000 subscriber channel. I'm really proud of the channel. I'm really happy with what we've built here, and I think we have a really cool community. And I don't want to sound ungrateful for what you guys have done for me and for what the channel is when I say that I would love to see it turn into a 100,000 subscriber channel. For the longest time, that was not a goal of mine. I was kind of afraid of what we might turn into if it got too big. But I think it might be possible, and I think if we were able to build to 30,000 to where we are right now, and let me also mention that I realize that the view counts are not the same for our channel that they are for some other channels that have reached that kind of subscriber base. We seem to have a lot of folks that come in and watch Rewind or another show for a while, and they say subscribed, but they don't necessarily keep watching, or they kind of come in and out. Our average video outside of Rewinds is maybe around 1,000 views, and like some people complain about that or tell me that that's really weird and like, what's wrong with you that you're only getting 1,000 views a video. My response to that has always been, it is amazing to me that anybody cares what I have to say about anything, and I'm really happy with this community. I'm not going to hang it up. I'm not going to say it's not worth doing anymore if we don't get there. It's just a goal. I think it would be neat to see if it's possible. And so I'm trying to take some steps to doing that, but again, balancing that with making sure that the quality of the work is up to at least my own standards. So anyway, leave your comments. Tell me what you think about this plan. And if you have any advice about how to, achieve this goal, how to continue to grow, maybe grow at a little bit of a quicker rate, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. And in the meantime, I'm Captain Logan. I will see some of you guys hopefully tonight on the Captain Logan Show at 7 o'clock Central Time. And besides that, I'm going to be working on a Rewind, and there will be a new one up on Tuesday, so look forward to that. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you again later on with more videos here on Geekvolution. Bye, guys.